I'm gonna take you in now. I've got the smoker going pretty well, so we'll head on in and take a look. And maybe this time I'll just do some highlights and show you what I find. But here we go. Here's the hive. And I'll just give you a peek around the front. But there we go. Lots of activity. It's September 12th, and I'm hoping that I'll have a better idea now once I get into this inspection whether I'm going to get any honey or how much I'm going to get. So I don't think I've ever shown down inside the hive. This is the honey super, the fourth box with the smaller frames on top. But I've taken one frame out and opened up two frames so you can kind of get a look down inside and see what I see when I look down in there. But you see on the sides, they've drawn out the honeycomb, and they've started on the little frame that I took out. There is some uncapped immature honey on it, so I'm expecting when I pull these frames out that there's going to be honey up here in the super, which is great because this honey will be completely natural honey. No, I haven't supplemented since I put this super on, and so everything in this will be wildflower honey from my developed from nectar in my neck of the woods. So I'm just going to pull this out here and we'll take a look at what's going on here. Yeah, you see honey there. There's honey in there, nothing else, because the queen excluder keeps the queen down in the bottom two boxes, and they just store honey up here. None of this is capped, so it's not yet ready to harvest. It's still immature, but I am going to get some honey out of out of this super probably in the next week or so, because this is all within the last 2 weeks. I haven't looked inside the hive now for 2 weeks, but so that's 2 weeks, and they've basically hit the almost hit the outside frame already, because they start, if you look here, they start developing comb on these middle frames, and then they work out, and they fill with honey starting from the middle frames and work out towards the outside edge of the box. And so for there to be that much honey on this 9th frame, because I took the 10th frame out and it's down there, so I can have some extra room here in the box to move things around. But they've already got honey pretty well filled on this 9th frame. So give them a couple more weeks, they'll have that capped off. And once it's capped, I get to take it. Just another peek down there. It's pretty amazing. So there's the honey super. I went through it. 7 of the 10 frames are basically full of uncapped honey. The last 3 frames, they're still drawing out the comb, but I anticipate that in a couple weeks, by the end of September maybe, I'll be able to harvest all of that, everything in that super. So here's the 3rd hive body, and I'm just going to really kind of peek down into here, because there's really going to be no action beyond storing honey. But if you look, all of these frames are just full of stored honey, and that's going to be theirs. They'll keep that to help them get through the winter. But this is all looking really good. One thing I have noticed, and I'll show you here, one of them's kind of stuck in the propolis. When I pulled the inner cover off, there were about 3 earwigs that ran around. So I've somehow got earwigs in the hive, and that's a problem. I got to figure out how to get rid of those. But that one decided to run up into the propolis and is now mortally stuck. But I'll have to do some reading and searching around, figuring out how to get rid of earwigs from your hive. This is the queen excluder. And it just lays on there, so I'm just going to pull that off, and I'll clean this. Whoa, hold on, having things collapse here. Crisis averted. So I'll just pull this off, but I will scrape off this wax that they built up. Kind of glues things on. So all that involves is taking the tool and just kind of scraping it off. Get out of there, girls. Sorry. Oh, it looks like there's a dead one there. So I'll just take all that off. This is what propolis looks like in the hive. And you'll see I'll just scrape along here. And take all that sticky stuff off. And that's how it builds up. And that's how they glue everything together. That and the wax. I don't think I've ever done a video showing what happens when you up close when you smoke. So you'll see here the bees are coming out. I need to get them down so that I can get these frames out. So I'm just gonna, I don't know if you can even really see that smoke, but see, they drop right down in. They just don't like the smoke. So I've taken off all of the boxes. I'm down to the last deep brood box. So there's that one, and I put that's the second brood box where the queen can be, and I put it over there separate from these two, which I have over here, because I don't want the queen, while I'm looking in this box, if she's in that box, to move from that box into those boxes. So I have the queen over there. I don't think she's in there because I just went through that whole box and I didn't see her. I'm hoping she's in here. I did see a lot of brood, about 3 frames just packed with brood. So I know she's in here somewhere. I haven't seen her for well over a month now. Hoping to see her in here, and if I do, I'll take a shot. I am really striking out when it comes to seeing the queen in the box. I know she's in there because I see a lot of pupa and larvae and capped brood, and the hive is just thriving. I mean, I'm going to get honey out of this by the end of the month. So I know she's in there. I just never see her anymore. She's always moving to a frame that I've already looked at, or she's just moving around and I just don't see her. But she's in there. Everything's looking good. It is getting towards fall, and so my understanding is that the brood production is going to start decreasing, and they'll start laying and raising winter bees. And the winter bees, as opposed to the summer bees, which only last for 4 or so weeks, apparently the winter bees, they last for 4 or so months. And they'll start kicking out the drones and the things that are a drag on the colony through the winter soon. I did see a lot of drones, so healthy drone population, not too many, but it's looking good. And in the next couple of weeks, I should be harvesting honey, and I will film that process too.